Okay, so I was greeting you again, once again. Hello on YouTube, hello on Facebook. I hope you're all well, and hello on Vinny on One Radio Station. I hope you're all well. My name is Vimbai Chiwuswa. I'm the life coach today on this session. And yes, thank you for joining me, and I am blessed to be here with you. I hope you're all well. Okay, so today, or this evening rather, we are talking episode 2. You know what we have done is we have gone back to where we started. For those people who missed us when we started, because we were already speaking like episode 9, episode 8, and people like, oh, what's going on here? Where did these people start from? Because they were in the videos there. So this is more like a recap of the sessions that we've already done, but for those who had missed them. So we are pleased to be here with you. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, we are talking managing life, managing hopeless situations. This was our session 2. You know what happened is the first session we did was follow your dreams. All right, and that was really successful. And like following to that, we had like comments coming in saying like, yes guys, you spoke about following your dreams, which is really good and fantastic, but the problem is with some of us that we feel like we are in a tight situation where we feel we are not going forward, or we are not going anywhere. We feel like we are just in a limbo situation, so to say. So how can we be then thinking of following our dreams when we are in a situation where we can't move? So this is why we decided to like say, okay, we can't just ignore that. We have to deal with it and deal with this topic. That's why we have our session 2 of managing hopeless situations. Okay, now that we've done the introductions, we can get back to serious business. Okay, as usual, we always start with a quote, right? A quote for the day or the quote for the session. This is a quote from Barbara Kingsolver. The quote reads, "The very least you can do in your life is to figure out what you hope for. And the most you can do is to live inside that hope, not to admire it from a distance, but live right in it, under its roof." Take a moment to think about what that means. Live in it, live in the hope, under its roof. Yeah? Don't admire, don't admire whatever you are hoping for from a distance. Live in it. What does that mean for you? What does the statement say to you? Let's think about it. What does that statement say to you? Okay, we leave it at that. Maybe we'll see at the end of the session if somebody will come up with a statement, or you keep it to yourself. You think about it, and you don't have to share it with me. It's just not like picking you to start thinking a little bit of like reflecting about your life, right? Remember, in my sessions, the idea is you think about your life. You think about what is working for you and what is not working for you. You think about, like, what can you change? All right. You think about what are you not happy about? And then what can you do about it? Remember, I always say this is your life, right? I know for sure that some people will be able to pick points here and there and sort their lives out. And there are some people who would definitely need professional help. Okay, so for those who really need professional help, like as in one-to-ones, or like people who deal with you on the spot, please by all means get the help that you need. Okay, otherwise for the rest of us, yeah, we will pick and choose what we think will work for us, and we will try things out. Okay, yeah, so this will be like my little introduction for today, to say, you know what, follow in the following your dream sessions to say like, yeah, today we are managing hopeless situations, as I said at the beginning. What is it that we call hopeless situations? Hello, Vinny. It's good to have you. What do we mean by saying hopeless situations? What does that mean to you to say a situation is hopeless? What would you call a hopeless situation for you? Yeah. So my definition of a hopeless situation is situations happening in our lives that we feel we cannot do anything about it, that we feel like, our hands are tied, and there is no getting out. These are times or situations in our lives where we feel like, what, I'm just giving up. Okay, how many of us have ever had a time when we were thinking, ah, I just feel like I don't want to do anything anymore. When you feel like lifting up your hands and say, you know what, I'm not even bothered. I might as well just stay in my bed. Who cares? How many times have you thought of your life to say, you know what, there is no escape. Doesn't matter what I do, I won't get out of this. How many times have you looked into your life and hoped, you know what, if only this or that would happen, then I will feel better? These are all the things that we're talking about. To say like these situations, they are particular to everybody. They are all different. There is no one solution. There is no one problem that we say this is the situation, but all different situations are different. People face different situations. All right, but you just have to figure out for you and define for yourself what is your hopeless situation that you want to deal with, or that you want the situations that you want to deal with. Okay, before we go any further, we always start by saying, the first thing maybe to think about is to say, if the situation is, or the situations are hopeless, start by determining, of these situations happening to you, which ones can you control and which ones can you not control. Okay, which situations can you control and which situations can you not control. Okay, situations that you cannot control are beyond your you doing something. Then that means you can't change them. If you have, like, I'll give an example. Like, for those who are sitting in a situation where maybe you live with somebody, or you are working with somebody who is making your life miserable, right? You cannot change this person and say, like, I want you to be like this because I wish this. It doesn't work like that, right? You cannot change anybody and make them feel the way you want them to be. All right. And then, but you can change how you feel or how you react to that situation. Okay, depend with how you react to the situation, it also determine how you go about it and how you will feel, and all that long list. Okay, but at the moment we are looking at situations where, like, it's somebody's behavior that is affecting you. You cannot change that person. All right, some say, like, if you change the way you are reacting, maybe that will give that person those, like, thinking kicks, to say like, this person, maybe they were expecting you to explode by every provocation, and then maybe you decide not to say, like, this time, I'm not going to, I know what you're expecting of me, and this other time you decide not to explode, and then you leave that person to remain wondering, what happened, what just happened there, because they were expecting you to explode. But maybe if that happens a couple of times, they will end up seeing, it's not worth trying to get you annoyed, because you don't react At least you won't react the way they are expecting you to. All right. So that's one way of doing it. Or you can decide to say, it's a situation, maybe it's a situation where you are in the working environment, right? In the working environment, it can also happen that there is this boss that is making your life miserable. You can decide to stay there and sulking every day, or you are reacting. If maybe that will give that test, or if sorry about that, or if you can get away, you can decide to get away, all right, and go and start a new life somewhere, a new job, right? It's also another way of reacting. So it just depends as to how you go about different situations, right? It just depends as to how do you deal with all these different things happening in your life. Okay. So, if it is situations with the home offices for those who are living in different countries, on Facebook, hello once again, you had gone off, so I just said to restart the video. I'm talking episode 2. Yeah, sorry for catching up a little bit late, so it may be like a rewind or beginning again, but not a problem. But I'm just talking now of like we are managing hopeless situations, and we are determining as the first point to say, what is it that you can control in this situation that you are in? So, situations that you cannot control, situations that are out of your hands. I was just giving an example now to say, suppose for those who are living in foreign countries, situation with the home office, right? It's almost uniform everywhere. There is nothing you can do. They have their schedule, they have their workload, they work according to their times, and they work according to how they work, right? And there is nothing you can do to like speed up the process, or to like make them hurry up because you are in a hurry. Yeah, they work according to whatever way they work. You just have to wait. So if you can choose to sit down and crack your head and break your head that they are not waiting, it's a scary process. I've gone through that one. I know what it means, having to wait for the home office, having to like think and feel like this helplessness. I know what it is. So that situation, you cannot do anything about it. It's a thing that you say, when the home office is ready, they will look for you. Okay. Or if something is missing, they will look for you. As long as they are quiet, they are doing their thing, you leave them alone. Okay. We will talk about a diaspora topic some other time, not today. That's where we deal with the home office. All right. Okay, good. So we determine what is within our control, and then that way it will help us sort ourselves out. Because things that we cannot control, situations that we cannot control, we are wasting our effort, we are wasting our energy. It will give us a it will give us like a bed, not it will give us like a heart headaches, because we can't change anything. It will give us tummy ache because we can't change anything. We will get frustrated. So what we cannot do, we leave it alone, and then we save our energy and effort to do other things that makes us happy, that things that we have in control. Okay, so that will be the first one, to say, like, forget what you can't do and concentrate on what you can. That means what you can't change, or what will do itself, it will sort itself, and then when the time comes, and then you will be able to do something. All right, now we are looking at the situation where, what, despite what is going on, you just have to learn to love yourself. Okay, loving yourself is a topic on its own. We'll come back to it on another time, but we'll just touch a little bit of it to say, what, if you wake up grumpy, you will spend the whole day grumpy. If you don't take time to look after yourself healthy, wash yourself, get dressed nicely, clean clothes, it will boost your self-esteem. Just waking up, just think of the days where you just felt like, what, I can't be bothered. I don't want to know what the world is on about. and you just want to keep your head under your pillow. If you followed that instinct, you find out that the whole day you will just be feeling sickly, you will just be feeling, you know what, I just forget I exist, I don't want to know about anybody and anything, right? That means you will spend the whole day miserable, right? But if you try and get up, push yourself, give yourself a nice wash, like just wash yourself and put on clean clothes, go and eat a proper meal, you will see you will start feeling better, right? And try and use your time to do something that makes you happy. All right. So while least you are loving yourself, you are making sure you're eating properly, you're sleeping properly, you are walking out in the fresh air, meet your friends. If you don't have friends, go where other people are. Like it would be good to start making new friends. Just take care of yourself, basically. That's what I'm saying. It will help you, it will go a long way, because like you are using your time to doing useful things, that is loving yourself. Okay. And we have to accept that there is pain. We have to accept that this situation that we are in is painful. And if we do accept that the situation is painful, you know what? We can try and start looking for solutions. That is for those situations that are seemingly impossible, right? Sometimes maybe you have crashed. You used to be like a big person, you used to be like a high profiler, and life happens and things happen, you just dropped, right, from that position that you had, you know and then, like, now accept where you are. Accept it's painful to be where you are, right? Of course, you are also thinking what brought you down to that position, as you are accepting that, yes, that's where I am now. Okay. And then from there, because you have accepted that, like, this is where I am now, I just have to reorganize myself, painful as it is. I just have to live according to the moment, this moment where I am, and leave the memories where they belong. Because, like, look back at the memories and say, like, wow, it used to be good when it lasted, but now you're no longer that high profile. You are now here where you are. Take that life to say, okay, as much as I know what was going on there on the other side of the happy moments, keep those. Sometimes they can help like make you, give you a smile, but sometimes they can be like make you even more miserable, because you know what you are wishing for that you can't have at the moment. So you concentrate on now to say, yes, it was there, but now I am here where I am. And then, like, it is painful where I am because I can't do this and that I used to, but this is where I am now. All right. So you accept that, like, this is where I am. You accept that this post where you are, it's not a permanent position. You will change someday, you will move on, but at the moment you are here, that's where you are. And as you are accepting the pain that you are feeling, as you are like, um accepting that you are in this position, it's also a starting point to start getting that healing, that completion, that's like, okay, this is where I am. And then that way you don't have to feel ashamed of anybody. You don't have to look at who's laughing and who's looking, because whether you do good, people will laugh. Whether you do nice, they will always have something to say. But it's about you who's listening to me, you who is going through whatever you are going through. You know what you're going through, right? So, and accepting where you are now, it also helps your spirit to be at this, what do you say, to be at one with itself, to say, like, okay, this is where I am, right? And then you start taking it from where you are, all right, without having to, like, mourn about the world. Okay, so this is another step to say, like, while you are starting to in these hopeless situations where you are in, accept where that position that you are in. And then from there we start looking at, like, okay, how do I get out of there? Okay, accepting this is where I am now is the starting point, because the more you lie to yourself, the more, like, you bottle things in, the more, you try to become like live this life that you do, that is not your life. You are only creating more and more frustrations for yourself. It's more, like you are creating more and more. You're living a life for yourself, and there's nothing as bad as living a life for yourself. Remember, there are two different things here. To say, yes, I am living, I am here now, but I have the hope for tomorrow, that tomorrow will be different, to be a different day. So these are two different things. To say, yes, I am here where I am, it's bad, I feel the pain, right? And then on the other end, you're saying, yes, I am hoping for tomorrow, a better tomorrow, because I know tomorrow will be better. And then you are having like this optimistic look. That's a different thing. You know what I mean? So accept that today is bad and you are in this situation, right? As a way of being. So then that way you'll be able to be faced tomorrow and say, tomorrow will be a better day, because you have first acknowledged. So this accepting pain is like acknowledging the pain. Okay. And then we'll be ready to start, like to start a new day, where we are looking and say, like, okay, is I am here, where do I go from here, now that I know where exactly I am? All right, so the next point will be identifying your fears. Yeah, sometimes what makes situations hopeless, what makes situations or seemingly hopeless, is because we are not sure of what's coming. We are scared. Anything that scares us, brings us to say, you know what, I won't even go there, I won't even look that way, I won't even I don't know what will happen, so I can't. I'll rather stay where I am. At least where I am, I know they say the devil, is better than the angel. You don't. So you end up um sticking with this situation that is bad for you, but because you are scared, because you are scared to make the leap, you are scared to jump on, and then you end up hanging around a situation that is not even good for you, right? So we have to identify these fears, to say, like, okay, take a piece of paper and say, what am I scared of? What are your fears? Right. And then you can also even ask the question is, what do I think will happen? Right. If I do A, like, what will happen? And then you put your list to say, this, I think this will happen. And then you ask yourself, what will be the most catastrophic thing, or the most catastrophic outcome that can happen to you if you do A, B, C? And then you will find, for A is this, for B is this, for D is this. The fact that you have started putting things down and pointing and giving names to them, it means you are on the way to find solutions. Because whatever has got a name, you can solve it. At least you will start saying, okay, so if I do A, and then the outcome is B, and then you will start looking at the components of B and say, why is B so scary? Right? Because we are looking at why B is so scary. And then you will say, okay, if B, because in B I'm scared of DE. Okay, if I do this, or and then I can counteract this. If I do this, and then okay, then I can shift this. If I do this, and then maybe this. So already, because you have identified those fears, and you have identified the possible catastrophic outcomes, and because you have identified the possible solutions to those catastrophic outcomes, you are already working on the solutions before you know it, right? So that way you are still, like, you are still visualizing what can happen. It hasn't happened yet, it might not happen, but because you have started working on the solutions, you might see that, oh, actually it's not as bad as you thought it would be, because like, you are actually working on it. All right. And the thing is, if like, you start thinking, I want to start my business, and you start thinking, if I start, I will fail, and you don't start because you are scared you will fail, then you have already lost the battle before you even go anywhere. Yeah. But if you say, if I start, it's scary, yes, because it's a new thing that you are starting, right? But you start looking at everything that can go wrong, and you start making provisions for all those things that you can think of that can go wrong. That means you already have half the solutions to those situations. Then you might see that it's no longer as scary as it was before, when you were just thinking the idea, if I start my business, woo, big thing. Or if I change my jobs, I have to start looking for the writing the CV, looking for the application letter. Or I might not even start. Better I don't even start, because it's just too scary, too big a thing, right? So identify those fears. Know what you are dealing with. If you know what you are dealing with, it will be easy for you to solve them. The other thing that makes it difficult is because we want to have, like, we are scared of uncertainties. To say, if I change this, and this will come. Oh, no, 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 I might not start, because I don't know. We are all scared of uncertainties. Remember, I said, there is nothing in life that is certain. Life is not certain, right? So if you are looking for certainty in life, you can be sure you will either keep searching, keep running till you think you will find something, but there is no certain, so you will always be on the search. Or, hello, Hilda, you're welcome. Yeah. Or you might accept that things are as they are, right? Life comes as it comes. You make provisions for the day or for the month, and you move on with your life. You live your life to the fullest, because there are no certain, there is no certainty, there's no guarantee. Okay. Oh, the other thing that scares us is unpredictable, something that is unpredictable. You know, we want to know, if we say, hi, how are you, Hilda? You want to say, if I say 1 plus 1 is definitely 2. Yes, in maths, that's that. In reality, if you say 1 plus 1, you always have 2, right? But in a normal life, there is no always 1 to 1, where like, your life, if you do this outcome will come. There is no one knows the future. This means, like, your future, you can put things in plan, make the, what they say, a bulletproof of a plan on paper. All right, but tomorrow things can happen that, whatever you thought was bulletproof will tend up to be like, oops, surprise, surprise, it didn't work that way. So my tip on that one is, enjoy the present life that you have, make the most of it. Okay. And then some of us want to be in control. I have to know that if I put this and this together, this outcome will come out, and I have to keep things under my control. I have to know who is doing what, where, when. For some, okay, for in business world, you have to do that. You have to know exactly who is doing what. But in managing general life, it's not possible. You cannot always keep everything in control. You cannot always keep situations in control. People will live their lives. Not even the children of the same parents have the same ideas and will do the same outcome. People will do whatever they want to do, because they are human beings. They have got their own minds. So you can't hope to keep people in situations under your control. It doesn't work. Someday, somewhere, somebody will break out, or some situation will bring you something that you never thought would ever happen to you, and you'll be surprised, because you thought you had, like, everything under control. So experience the present, experience today, and have a good life today, wherever, whatever that life looks like. Okay. And make the most of what you are having today. Otherwise, the other side of it will be you worrying, always sitting in a panic mode, you feeling anxious, you feeling depressed, because things are not working according to your plan. Things are not working according to your, like, your notes. Things are not working. People are dancing out of tune. Nobody, you are forever trying to hold on things. You're forever chasing this dream of perfection. Life is not perfect. Life is got no manual. Live your life as best as you can, so that at the end of the day, you look at your balance and say, how did I do today? Did I do well? You clap your face, you clap your shoulders, like, well, girl, you did well, or yes, say you did very well. And then you look at tomorrow as another day. Okay, so let's go away from this notion of my life have to be perfect, because if it crumbles because you're thinking things are perfect, you will be like down for a few days. You won't want to see the world. And to avoid things like that happening, live for today. Okay. Thanks, Yuda. Yeah, so we have identified the fears, and we have like looked to say there is no certain, there is nothing, we cannot always try to predict things. We are just living things and controlling what we can control and experiencing today and enjoying our lives. Life is got no manual. Okay. Good. So we are looking at our next point, and our next point will be to say, let's kind of create, look at our health. We have to create a health atmosphere around us. We have to create, for ourselves, health habits, right? Because, our health is the most important thing. Believe me, if you are not healthy, no money in the world will make your life sweet. No luxury things of this world will make your life beautiful if you are not healthy. I work in the care sector, and I've been in the care sector for some years, so I know what I'm talking about. I've worked with people who have, like, just managing, and I've worked with people who really have money, like where you think, like, wow, okay. But believe me, if your health is in the ditch, not even those millions will do you anything. You can try and buy as much as you want of this medication and these therapies and all that. You see what you are looking at, therapy to bring you back to life. Okay? So before you even go that down that drain, make sure you are keeping healthy relations, you are keeping a healthy lifestyle to start with, because it's only you who can take care of yourself. It's what you put down your mouth that will help either, see that you are going health wise good or going the other way down. All right, so you take care of yourself, see that you eat well, see that you sleep well, see that you go out in the fresh air, do exercises. Exercise is not about just going to the gym and all that. If you don't have time to go to the gym, jump around in your house, get some ropes and do skipping, those skipping stuff, what you can do in your house. If you don't want to do that, do some press ups, do some, you can shake your hand, you can move your neck, do your exercises. All right. If you have children or grandchildren, go and play ball outside with your children, or you can play hide and seek and chasing each other around the house. If you don't have children, then play with your nieces or play with the neighbors' children. If you can, if like walk into the shops, where you can walk to the shops, walk to the shops instead of driving. If you can, just go around the block, do that. So keep yourself physically fit. There's one thing. Keep yourself physically fit. Okay? That's one side. And then the other side, eat healthy, eat balanced meals. All right, I know some people can come and say, like, yeah, you know what, we don't have enough money. Well, with whatever money you have, see that you try and buy balanced meals where you have, like, all your nutrients, your proper nutrients in order. If you want to talk about healthy eating, we can have that as a proper session on its own. But I'm just suggesting that, make sure you have all your vitamins and all your carbohydrates and all your, that whole package balanced. Yeah. um okay, the problem with health, it can start in the brain. Like we are talking, managing hopeless situations, right? I can start here, hold my chin like that and start thinking, oh dear, this time I didn't work enough. How will I pay those bills? I've got the electric bills, I've got the insurance, the car insurance, I've got the MOT, I've got the gas, the electricity, the phone, I've got the rent, the council tax. That's already quite a number of them, right? And I'm thinking, from what I can see, this month is not going to be enough. So I can sit there and continue breaking my head. What will I do? As long as I don't go and work, I won't have that money. So as long as I don't have a cousin, a brother, a mother who can chip in and help me, I won't have the money. Okay. So as long as I don't have a friend I can borrow from to say, like, you know what, I will start working more and then I'll pay you. There's no way I can pay those bills. If I'm not on benefits, like for us who are in in some European countries where the benefit system is there, if you can't get those benefits, so there's no way those bills are gonna be paid. So you can sit there and mourn and cry that the bills are not gonna be paid. Will that solve the situation that the bills are not gonna be paid? Or you can stand up and go work 3 other jobs, do this one, do that one, and try and, like, see that at least maybe this month you won't be able to pay all of them, but you pay what you can, and then the following month you will catch up. But at least you see you have made something where you say, like, instead of sitting down and cracking, oh my goodness, what will I do? Because you are thinking something that you don't have the solution for, at least not an immediate solution, right? You start having headaches. You start thinking, from the normal headaches it will become migraines. From the migraines you start vomiting. You start having pain, tummy ache. You start having ulcers. You start feeling weak. You know, you see, the chain is going. It's getting more and more. It's just started as a little headache because you were thinking. You start feeling dizzy. Before you know it, you don't even want to get out of your bed. Before you know it, you can't even look at the sun because it's blinding you. Before you know it, you are now getting some tablets of some sort, a big pack of them, just to help you pull through. Yeah, but you could have avoided this, where you say, like, okay, I can't, there's nothing I can do with this situation, and then at the moment, and then you try and focus on other things that you can help. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, with your health, you mess up, you go down the drain, and for you to, like, recap, it's difficult. Or you go to the hospital, they tell you, oh, sorry dear, like, this disease that you have, we can't do anything for you. I'm sorry, this is really bad news for you. But you if they tell you, you have such a period to live, instead of you sitting in a corner there and mourning that, oh, your life is already finished, why not try at least to look at the better side of it, to say, you know what, you still have a little bit of time. Until then, you do what you can, you live your life to the fullest, doing whatever you can do to keep you to stay alive. If you have family and friends, spend time with your family. I know it's a difficult situation. I know it's, like, really, I can't even imagine what I would do if I would be on such a situation. All right. But what I'm trying to say, instead of focusing on this negative problem that we have, that will make us even more poorly, even more sickly, right? Let's try and put this energy somewhere else, where at least where we will feel better. Yeah, and do something for ourselves that will make us better. Taking care of ourselves health wise, it doesn't seem we are denying that things are bad. We are not denying that things are bad, but we are doing whatever we are doing to keep our health, our mental health, our body fit, so that like, at least we have the energy to face whatever is coming our way, All right. So the greatest gift of life is health. Okay. Stay alive and take care of yourself as much as you can. Okay. Life goes on. As long as, I always say, I'm an optimistic person. As long as you have life in you, as long as you are still alive, live your life to the max. Okay, so stay healthy. All right. That will be on that, on stage, like, yeah, your health. And then we would say, like, you know what, while least we are looking at the hopeless situations, I said we are looking at those things that we see, like, they will take us somewhere. We are concentrating on those things that, uh can bring a shift in our life, so that we are not miserable, because continuous contemplating on difficult things that we cannot change will make us ill, right? It's not good for our health. So why not look at to that there is always a tomorrow? Saying there is always a tomorrow, like I said, I'm an optimistic person. It's not denying that today it's bad. It's not denying that things are hard. It's about focus. It's a, like, there's a, it's putting a shift in what we are choosing to focus on. We can choose to focus on the negative things that will drain our energy and make us feel like putting our head under the pillow. All right. Or we can focus on things that will at least uplift us. And then, like, looking at the is a tomorrow, and tomorrow is a new day. It's one thing that will lift us, because we always say, like, tomorrow is pregnant, because we don't know what tomorrow will bring. There might be sunshine and there might be rain. There might be winds and there might be, like like a soft breeze. So tomorrow is a new day. Why concentrate on the negative thing that you cannot, like, do anything about? All right. So let's concentrate on things that will, like, that will lift our spirits. Okay. So in that we are looking at tomorrow, the it gives us hope. It gives us hope of the future, for the future. It gives us hope for what's coming tomorrow. That it's difficult, yes, we know, but there is tomorrow, which is a new day. Let's focus on that, and then we will see that things will look better. All right. So that will be on, like, focusing on the future, focusing on this new day that hasn't arrived yet, but we are hoping that this new day will bring other things for us. And you might even, maybe, to this tomorrow, when it comes, it might not be as bad. It will bring new it no tomorrow will bring us new opportunities. Yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll meet other people that we didn't meet today, that will be our helpers. Maybe tomorrow we'll meet, some new things will happen to us. So let's be expectant of tomorrow. Let's have hope that tomorrow things will be better. Today things are bad, yes, but maybe, just maybe, tomorrow will be a better day. So we already have something to look forward to. Yeah, if we went to bed crying today, we don't want to wake up tomorrow crying again, because we are already thinking, oh, when I wake up tomorrow morning, things will be bad again. If things are that bad again, then we have a really big problem. Okay. So let's try and look for, and be optimistic. Okay. So that will be on that, on looking at tomorrow. Okay. As we are focusing on tomorrow, let's look at it and think, what do we have in our bag that is our potential? What can we use to change this situation to our own benefit? There's one thing, like, sitting there and crying, I don't have a job, things are so bad, nobody's looking at me, and you are not even applying for the job. You never told anybody that you're looking for a job. And how will your friends know that you're looking for a job if you don't tell them? And you yourself, what do you have? Do you even have the capacity to say, okay, I'm looking for a job, yes, and I'm ready to go and work? Or they give you the job and you just want to stay in your under your pillow with your head, like, in your bed, and you don't want to do any, you don't want to move. Yeah. What potential? you know if you're looking for a job and you say, like, okay, I know I don't have certificates, or I've never done this job. But you are willing to learn, you are willing to try, you know. That way you start. If I tell you, when I lived in German, when things really got hard, when things really became a rough ride, I was thinking, what are my options? I could have worked in the care sector, no, not in the care sector, in the yeah, in the tourism hospitality industry. But that time things were not, the jobs were not coming up. So I was asked, have you worked in the care home? I said, care home, not really. I come from a very big family, so I've seen and I've taken care of people there, and I've seen my mom working my mom who was a nurse. I've seen her taking care of people, so I know what to do. And we took care of family when they came in and they became poorly. So I have an idea what I have to do. But yet I worked in a care home in Zimbabwe. Remember, we are talking like almost 20 years ago. Care homes. But I went into a care home and they said, do you think you can manage? I said, I'll try. Let me try and then we'll see. And they gave me 5 days probation where I was waking up, going in a care home. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. That was my first reaction. Oh my goodness. Oh la la. Where did I land? But you know what? Almost 20 years down the line, I'm still working in the care sector. Yeah. But at that moment, I had to use what I had to say, like, okay, my potential at that time was that I was willing to learn. That's a potential. And I had to make time for that job. Okay. So, I mean, what do you have on your in your, and I had the ability to learn. You see, so you look at yourself and say, what potential are you bringing with you? What do you have that you can use to your advantage? That's what I'm talking about. What do you have that you can use to your advantage to make sure you get this job, to make sure you change this situation? Yeah, it can be, like I said, it can be time, it can be like, the skills that you have, it can be, it can be the resources that you have. You are looking at what can you do, right? And then while you're looking at what you can do, and then you start working, you start from there. Okay, there is nothing as somebody who say, you know what, help me, and then you fold your arms, you expect people to come and help you. Where do they start? Yeah. So you have to be better organized, and let's check out to say, like, what is it that you are bringing with you. Okay. And then, so that it's easier for those who are there to help you, to pull you through. Okay, the next thing that we have to look at is your network. To say your network, who do you have in your network who can help you? Of course, you have looked at your potential, right? But you have to look at your network to say, do you have like friends that are around you that can help you? Do you have like in your neighbor, are they like, like those self-help groups that you can go and join? Are they any advisory places where you can go to say, you know what, guys, like, professionals, to say, I am in this situation, I need help, right? You have to find those. If like I'm saying, these solutions that I'm giving, or these tips that I'm giving, they are for people who are like somehow, who are still capable of helping themselves. But there are some people that I definitely know that, they will really need somebody to walk with them, like step by step, right? So if you are that well advanced that you really need a professional that you go and sit there and get the help that you need, go and get that kind of help. And if like, there are institutions where you can go and say, like advisory institutions, go to those as well. It will depend with what kind of help you need, and you go and find that. Okay, so don't say, like, I didn't know, that won't help you. To manage some situations, you need some people to work with you, and you need like really proper, like, hands on, like, as in somebody who's working with you. If you are in Blackpool, I might try and help you if you come to me. But like I said, I am just one tip of a person. There are many professionals out there who can do a good job. So go and get that help that you need wherever you are. Okay. So we have spoken about the networks, that look around your network. Who is there? Who can help you? Remember, it's not about you being carried. You are not expecting people to carry you. You are asking them to help you. All right. They are working with you, like they are maybe giving you a hand while at least you are stretching your hand. Not that you expect them to carry you and you fold your arms. They are now the ones to come and do things for you. Nobody can change your life. It's you who should change your life. So if you are going to change those and unmanageable situations, it's you who has to do the job. They can advise, they can work with you, but you are doing your job yourself. Okay. And they can advise you and work with you and guide you, and even like give you a shoulder to lean on if things get tough. Okay. But don't expect people to carry you. That will not work. Yeah. And besides, you, as we are talking, that the networks, it's you who has to go and look for them to come and help you, not the other way around. If they come and pull you through, say like, you need help, go and get help. The next first chance you find an open door, you run away and go back to that whatever you have been doing before. So to manage these situations, these seemingly hopeless situations, you need your network to carry you. No, not to carry, to work with you. You need them to support you, while it's you are leading the way to say, I want to have this situation changed. I want to have a better life. And you are leading the way, and you have the support helping you. All right. So that will be that, on managing, on the networks. Okay, so our next point, uh, whilst we think, um, managing hopeless situations, is to think that things can be worse, right? You are where you are, where you are crying, where you are mourning, right? Okay, things like that do happen in life. So is life. Like I said, life is got no manual. But remember not to concentrate so much on that negative things. Like I said, negatives and things will not help you. You have to focus on things that, like that you can do, things that will help you go forward. So, like I said, sometimes you have to remember that things can be worse, and take that you are where you are, where it's already bad. But maybe the fact that you are still alive, it gives you hope that things can still be changed. The fact that you are realizing that where you are realizing this position that you are in, that is not comfortable for you, it also, or that needs working on, that realization, it's also like, something on its own. That means that, what, you already see that there is need for change. Yeah, the fact that you can see that there is need for change on that aspect, on that situation. And then that means you can also see that if I don't change this, it can be worse than it already is. Or sometimes you just need to look around you, and you will see there are some people who are already worse off than you. I'll give you an example. That I think last Monday it was, I was walking around, looking so grumpy. I was like really down. Yeah, yes, I'm a life coach and I know all the tricks, but I was really down on that day. Something had happened to me, and I wasn't like really happy about the situation. So I was walking around with a grumpy face. And somebody looked at me, and I was putting on my OT student uniform, like, like looking nicely dressed, though my head was somewhere else. Right. As I'm passing through this young man on this, like, like begging for money on one of the shops. She said like, "Oh, miss, may I ask you, are you a doctor or something? My leg is hurting me." So this guy didn't even give me a chance to say no, I'm not, and continue walking. He already started telling me his story. Like, "Oh, things are so bad. Look, my leg." The thing, it turns out that this guy He's got a leg that like I assume that like he has fluids in his left leg, and part of it, like he says, according to him, he says he injects himself with heroin, right? This guy is 26 and he's sitting there. He's a white British guy. He's crying. Things are not right for him. He lives on the street. He's actually thinking like, so how much do I need to go to the hospital? I'll go by taxi. So I'm thinking, if I even asked him, if you don't have money for the taxi, and you actually begging for people for money, why not take the bus? Like, oh, I can't walk. So like, you can't walk. So how did you get here? Said, I slept there by the bushes. Right. Remember, I'm saying we are in UK. In UK, nobody should live in the street, but there are people on the street. Remember, I said that day I was feeling so miserable with my own self. And there is some when I'm thinking, oh, my life is all finished. If this doesn't happen, oh, good God, help me. What will I do? There I find this young man telling me he's got a swollen leg that I can see it's swollen. He's got a leg that is not like he's got fluids in it. He's not even going for treatment for it. He doesn't even know what you eat, right? And it's cold here and he's sleeping on the street. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, what a luxury problem I have. By the time I finished speaking to him and I went home, I was feeling like almost ashamed of myself. Of course, for me, that was a major problem in that moment. It still was. Yeah, I'm not forgetting that it is a problem for me that I still need to solve. But I'm only saying it brings me back to say like things could be worse. And there are other situations that are around you, that happen around you, that will remind you, give you a quick check. For me, that was a quick check that, girl, you are saying you are in trouble. Look at this, what's going on there. And I'm thinking, oh dear, right? Okay, so that's just one example from my life of things that can happen, though we are thinking like, what, yeah, okay, good. Okay, so to come up to this, we can say, you know um what will not kill you will make you stronger. So all these situations that you've been going through and you've been managing them somehow, you know, they are challenges and they are helping you. They are bracing you for other even harder challenges. If you walk out of this challenge that you are facing now and you see that you manage, you will be even stronger. If you walk out of a challenge and you see you survive it, and at the end of it you will look back and say, wow, I made it. And if I managed that one, bring it on. Anything that comes my way, I will manage, because you have already done something and you managed. Okay, so nothing will shake you anymore. No more big surprises, because you have managed already one big thing. Okay, so if you are looking at uh as you are going through difficult times, you are learning new things, because as you are solving those problems, you are seeing you are opening new doors. You are also you are learning new problem solving skills, such that at the end of it, you can be a mentor for other people who are going through the same things. So like, hey guys, if I were you, I wouldn't even try it that way, because this can happen. I tried it and this is how I solved it, or I went through the same process. Like, this is what I can tell you. As long as we remember that, like, there is no every situation one size fit all. Okay, so yeah, that will be that on that. To say we learn new things and we grow stronger and we grow smarter as we are going through all different things in our lives. Okay, and so I have one thing that I thought I could share with you, to say, as we are dealing with these hopeless situations, we have to find situation like kind of a way out. we will try and use a tool called SMART. With SMART, it means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time limited. With this kind of thing, it's not like where you are solving problems that you're facing. To say you are looking at this problem and you're thinking, wow, this is massive. I can't handle this. If I look at it, it's whole big, it's all big size. But if you take one component of that big problem, one aspect of it, of this big problem, you will find that it becomes less scary and less intimidating. Okay, let's say we are talking looking for a job, and then I tell myself, either I've been in one job for so many years, I'm not happy where I am, and I feel like I'm suffocating every day. But the moment I start thinking, if I start going, where will I start looking for a job? Maybe in my life, I only wrote one CV and I only applied for a job, this one job, and I stayed there, I never left again. Where will I start looking for a new job? I don't even remember what they do in interviews these days. So I might be feel intimidated and decide to stay where I am, even though I'm not happy there. But if we take this comments like, okay, let's break it down into smaller pieces and say, okay, maybe I give myself 1, 2, 3 weeks, 2 weeks to try and write a new CV and try and get other people who, like other people from my friend Christ to help me write a CV. Right? I've given myself 2 weeks to start with my CV. Right? I can start by googling myself to say what are they saying in these days on the internet. What does should a CV look like? A current CV, what does it look like? Okay, I can then talk to other few friends of mine or good people like I can trust to say, guys, I'm looking into this. Can you help me? Right. Once I have that, I can go on then to say, because like now I've said it's looking for a job. I've taken one component of it to say I want to write a CV. Okay, I can then say to myself, I want to write this CV. This CV that's already specific, that it's a CV that I have to like curriculum fit for applying for a job. Right? I've given myself that. That's the bit that I want to start with. Okay, because to go and apply for a job, I will need a CV, right? And I can apply for a job, but if I don't have a CV, then I'm stuck because they will still say, "Can we see your CV?" So I might as well start by writing the CV first. Okay, so on my smart for specific, I'm tackling first writing a CV. Okay, measurable, I've said to myself, I can decide to say in this period that I've given myself, every day I might, for like I've given myself 2 weeks maybe, and then every day I have to take a bit of it, because if it is it like, for those who know, a CV, you have like the personal bit, you have like your academic bit, you have the working experience, and then you have like the other experience, and then you have your maybe your hobbies and all that. So each day I can say, for the first week I'll be dealing with one component of that CV, to say, what do I need to put on that? And then I look for all the information that I need. And the next time I'll say, okay, now I've finished. Okay, the next bit that I need to do is my education bit. What do I have on the education? I need to dig out my certificates. I need to write them down. I need to organize them. And then I'll deal with that, and all the other qualifications that I have, I can put them there. And then I'll look at the next aspect will be the next aspect I'm looking at will be what? To say, okay, I've looked at the next bit will be work experience. What kind of, where have I worked, and what kind of jobs have I done? So I'm putting all that down. So those are different aspects of one thing. All right. And then with achievable, like I said, you are taking, because we are breaking this CV into smaller units, right? Smaller units either smaller units for each day or smaller units for the next 2 days. right? It becomes doable because it's no longer this big thing that I have to do at once. Okay. And then because we are saying we are looking at this CV, so and the information that we are dealing with now, this period, it has to be space relevant to the job, to the looking for jobs. Like I said, we are talking about writing CVs, right? And then while I'm talking about writing CVs, it will be like really inappropriate for me to start looking into going on holiday, because going on holiday, yes, it's a good thing, but is it relevant to me at this particular moment where I'm thinking about writing my CV, where I'm supposed to be looking for information that will go into my CV? So this holiday thing will be inappropriate. It will be inappropriate. Holidays is good, yes, I love to go to Barbados someday, but it's not appropriate for this moment. Okay, so I shelf the holiday thing aside, and then I concentrate on finding information that is relevant for me that I can use for this CV writing. Okay, so that will be that. And then lastly will be whatever goal we have set aside for ourselves, it has to be doable within a time frame. So like I said at the beginning, for this CV writing, I can tell myself I've given myself 2 weeks to write that CV, right? And then within these 2 weeks, I have to do like really bit by bit, as I've said before, to make sure it's doable. All right. And then at the end of my 2 weeks, I will have to see, of course, in between, I just don't have to sit and then after 2 weeks and say, oh, what happened? 2 weeks is over. I have already, within that 2 weeks, I have to be doing my little steps and doing my reflections, looking back to see what have I done right or what has not worked. And if something has not worked, I have to adjust it to make sure it works. So after my 2 weeks now, because there's been ongoing process that I've been monitoring myself, I can look and say, did it work or didn't it work? Did I manage to write my CV after 2 weeks or I didn't? If I didn't, why not? What did I not do right? What did I do wrong? Yeah. What happened along the way? Okay, if I've done well, bravo, well done, girl. And then we start tackling the next project, and then we see what have we learned for the future. All right, so that will be that. So you see, we have picked one little thing. So once we have our CV, and then we can say, oh la la, next thing will be to tackle looking for the job adverts. Yeah, but because now I have a CV waiting already. Once I get a job that I think will fit to me, will be like, will become like, I think I like it, I can only send that CV and start the application, because I've already done one big chunk, though in smaller units. That's what I mean with using the smart tool in the box to say, like, okay, this is how we are going to solve this problem. Okay, so it's small, it's doable, it's small speed, step by step, bit by bit. Okay, that will be that on using the smart. Yeah, one thing that I need to mention on this here now is to say, let's remember that life is never stagnant. Life is forever moving. There is changes that happen, and life is constant. Like, life constantly changes. Yeah, as life constantly changes, yes, things can get worse and things can get better, but we are concentrating on things getting better, and then working on those that we think, it's not very stagnant. There are position or the situation that we can change. Bit by bit, we work on them. There are some that we are scared of, we work on them. There are some things that we can't change, we can't influence, we leave them alone. Okay, they will sort themselves out. When the time comes, then we will see what to do. But until then, to avoid the headaches, we shelf those aside. Okay, and we put them in the drawer and we close the drawer until the time is right when we have to pull them out and see if we can somehow solve them. Okay, so we are saying, like, as we are going in, we are remembering to say life changes. Life is not stationary. Life is not stagnant. As each day comes with new challenges, as we are looking into the positive things and channeling our energy into things that we can influence, we will have a happier life, as we are putting like looking at positive life, it doesn't mean that we are forgetting that there are challenges. Challenges will be there. We are going to be dealing with the challenges, but we are set off for for a win-win situation, for a winning situation, because we are already starting the day somewhat positively. If negative things happen, we always say in the good things, or I care to say, in the good things of life, you appreciate them, and then you take what is good. And then yes, Vinny, under the drawer, in the drawer, or under the bed, all works. Okay, you'll be hiding, things won't be working, and then you just think like, if I put it in this drawer, I don't see it, then I'm better off. Okay, sometimes you need to do that. Yeah. So as we are saying, like, as we are facing these challenges, right, we are looking to say, we are looking with hope, right? And this hope will carry us, that even things, when things are tight, when things are bad, we will have something to look forward for, something to hold on to. Let's see. Yeah. I will say one thing that has kept me going. Yeah, I hope it works for you. I am a Christian, right? And I've always hold on to that hope that, there is a God that carries me. I don't know about you, but I would say among dealing with hopeless situations, remember there is a God that helps. And God helps those who help themselves. If you just pull your blanket over your head and you say things will happen for themselves, you might need to have another thought. But God rewards those who are doing things, who are initiating to see, taking the initiative. When I left for German, I was a young girl then. So I went to see my grandparents and say goodbye, because I didn't know what will happen and when I would ever be back. So when I went to my grandpa, him being a Christian, he said, "My sweetheart, one thing that I can tell you is, where you are going there, you'll be by yourself, you'll be so far away, right? And when things get wrong, when you find yourself struggling, when you find yourself that you feel like there is no hope, when you feel like, or even if you get lost along the way, right? Remember, there is God. Go on your knees and pray. He will hear you. He says, go into the church and you will find yourself among the others. You will be in a safe, safe environment. He said, don't ever forget, no matter what you do, don't you ever forget to pray. And that will work. Believe me, I said almost 20 years down the line, I will tell you that has seen me through. It has worked for me, right? So you find what you I would say, find God and pray and ask God to help you, and He will surely open doors for you. You will surely see you through, and you will surely carry you. All right. But that's me speaking. You will have to make your own experiences, right? I know some people believe in other gods, or whatever you believe in. It's your free will, right? Whatever you believe in, see that, that gives hope as well. Okay, the hope for tomorrow, the hope that there is a God who carries you, a hope that there is another day tomorrow, the hope that today there is rain, thunderstorm, and there is an earthquake in your life, but you know that tomorrow it will be still again. Tomorrow it will be fine again. Tomorrow there will be sunshine. Tomorrow will be another day. So let that hope carry you into another day, despite all these difficult circumstances that you might be facing. Let tomorrow be, like something to give you a smile, that, yeah, tomorrow will be better, you know and take a step a day. step by step, right? Small steps are better than one giant step that you might lose balance from. Better you do your small steps, right? As you walk, as you try to find your way, managing these hopeless or now I'm calling them seemingly hopeless situations. But I think because we have dealt with them like in detail, that they are no longer so scary anymore. That they've become, yeah, like there is some life in them, that you see they can be doable. All right, that's what I'm hoping for you to say, like, yes, yeah, it's scary, yes, but doable. Okay. And then, yeah, that's what I had to share with you today. And I had a good time with you guys. And as usual, please don't forget to subscribe for me on my YouTube channel. It's called Life Coach Vimbai Chiwuswa. Yeah, and yeah, do leave some comments for me, please, on YouTube or on Facebook. And that's how I also grow. And if there are any topics that you would want us to deal with next time, please let me know. And then as for next week, we will be talking, looking in our session 3, which is positive mindsets. All right. So next week we'll be talking about positive mindsets on these same channels, on Facebook and on YouTube, around the same time again. Okay. And yeah, that was it for me for today. Thank you so much. Stay blessed, and it's always a pleasure. Do send me your comments. All right. Okay, so one by one, we closing up. I'm starting with those on YouTube, no, on Facebook today. To say those on Facebook, thank you so much for tuning in, Hilda, Vinny, and the rest of you guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye now. Uh, and yeah, those on YouTube, I'll also say thanks to you for watching. Once again, don't forget to please subscribe to my channel for me, and leave me your comments, and I'll be glad to have your feedback. That's also how I grow and learn new things as well. And if you happen to have any topics that you would want us to discuss in the future, do send me a line, and then we'll see what we can do with that. Okay, thank you so much. Stay blessed. Cheers.